Let's just go with a football theme today. Let's see what yard line we're on. Who else is out there? Somebody joined us. How about Terry? Is Terry out
Greg,
there?
it's Michael.
Okay. Morning,
Um,
Michael.
hey, I had to join through audio. I'm having issues trying to get my computer connected, so I'm
Okay.
trying another reboot. Trying another reboot, see if I can
Okay.
get it go around. Can't connect
Uh,
to the server for some reason.
okay. I've got something I'll go with just a second on that. So I can't get the, there we go. Let's make our football field a little bigger. Make it Jerry World size.
Here you go.
There we go. So, there we go. So, where's everybody at today? We are in the fourth quarter, actually, of the year. Getting close to the end. So, man, what you guys doing way down there? We got to be higher than that. What's going on with you guys?
Probably lower than that. I can barely breathe today.
Oh, really? Just air quality?
Just being cold and wet for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, I'm gonna be up here. I'm gonna be up here even with Frank. There we go. Frank, you're up high again. What's going on in your world?
It's just clicking along. Positive
Clicking along?
attitude.
Positive attitude. There you go. Yeah, that's all how. Yeah, it's all in perception, how you take it and what you can do with it. So, yeah, I like that. Well, cool deal. Anybody heard from Terry or Renee?
No, sir.
Hmm. I know Terry's off next week, so okay. Well, we'll see. Maybe they'll join in here. They may be having connectivity issues too. So,
Hey, Craig,
yeah.
is there a particular form you fill out for a DV claim?
No, there's not a form.
Call
The
me Rodney. Rodney, call me. I'll help you out.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
okay. Hey, walk us through that, Frank, because I just emailed to
I
claim
got
number
one
on one.
today. Yeah, I got one today, and
Oh,
I
I'm
haven't
sorry.
never did one.
I'm
Mhm.
sorry. I'm sorry. As far as completing a diminished value, I thought you meant setting it up.
No, completing one. Yeah, I got one
Okay.
today, and I had never did one. I know you fill out a form, but I'll reach out to you here in a little bit, Frank.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool deal. Thanks. Okay. Well, let's get rolling, guys. Jay, you're, I guess, water in your house. That's a good reason to be low.
Man,
Yeah, it's been a rough week with all the rain, and I've got sandbags and dirt bags and all kinds of stuff piled up trying to keep it out. So
Gotcha.
I
oh
think we
man,
got it out and starting to dry, but other than that, it's it's getting there. I can't park in the garage right now because that's where the water's getting in. It's through the garage. So
Gotcha.
I've got
Okay.
dirt bags and plastic and all kinds of stuff lined up to keep it from going under the garage door. So
Gotcha.
once it dries out, we'll get Mama's car back in the garage. But other than that, we'll be all right. So.
Good. Well, hang in there.
Oh
Um,
yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully the rain will be over at some point. We can all survive all this stuff. So, okay, let's get rolling. A couple of different things on the huddle board today. Nothing really a lot that stands out, but got an email about the VPN is changing. It's had a different look. When you guys logged in today, did y'all see anything different on it?
yeah,
Yes, sir.
Did you? Okay. Was it easy to log in and get through?
yeah. Just another
Yeah.
keystroke.
Just another keystroke. Okay, good, good. Um, I haven't. I didn't renew. I mean, mine still was connected from yesterday, so I didn't have to re-log in. So I guess that went into effect yesterday. So if you guys haven't logged in through the VPN, just be aware it looks a little different. There's a different keystroke, is what it sounds like. So shouldn't be a big deal. Did anybody else have any issues with it?
Oh, that must be my issue.
Okay.
So I'm trying to Yeah, I'm
Okay.
still working on restart, and so I'm kind of working through to see if I can get connected.
Okay. Good. Good. But you're on with us, so you're good. The other thing, we talked about a week or so ago about when you're going out of office to go in and set your next gen email as out of office or unavailable. I did mine last week while I was off, so whenever you come back to work, it does not automatically default back to available. You have to go in and change it to available.
Oops.
Really simple to do. Um, but anyway, just to follow up on that, and then the want to follow up on or just reminder the Ford incentive program. I've got a list of all of the Ford claims that were done last month, and I need to go through it, see how many were our unit members, and I'm going to send the list to you if you're on the list and ask if we offered the incentive. If you did not, we need to know why, and all that stuff. So anyway, just remember with the Ford incentive program, it's a hot topic again. So let's make sure we're on top of it. And then advance charges, same thing. Just pay every advance charge that you can. If you close it before and you document it inside the your URL before you close the claim, we get credit for it. If you upload the claim and then go back and pay it, then we don't get credit for it, even though Copart didn't have to. Try to pay them all when you can on the advance side before you upload your claim. I know if you're at a tow yard.
I was going to say another thing on those. If you're at a tow yard, even if you don't get a hold of the insured, go ahead and set up Copart to move the car. They can release it with a VSF form. You just have to email them the VSF through the Copart website. But go ahead and get the car out of there. We can always, if they've got personal items that they want to get, we can always get Copart to get those out and send them to them. That's no problem. But that would save a lot of storage charges, especially at tow yards. So, yeah, if you guys have that, ability to do that, go ahead and get them moved. Even if it's ACV non-agreed that you're sending in for a field for a FST non-agreed, go ahead and get the car to Copart, because that'll save us a lot of time and a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true.
This on insurance y'all talking about, or claimants also? We wouldn't do it on spec only, I know, but yeah.
No, if it's a settle assignment, whether it's a claimant or an insured,
okay.
Go ahead and get the car moved. If we're paying the claim, go ahead and get the car moved. But yeah, you're right. If it's an inspect only, we can't pay anything on it, so we're forced to let it sit until liability is determined or whatever.
Yeah, if
the reason is.
Yeah, and that's a good idea. Let's just be careful. If the customer's already cleaned out their car, then let's go ahead and do that. But if they still have their items out, let's give the customer at least maybe a day or so to go pick up their things.
And then when you do send the storage letter, if you talk to them today, don't set the last day of storage for the 19th, because they won't even get the letter by the 19th. So if you're inspecting a car today, and you're going to send a storage letter on it, give it a couple of 3-4 days to get there. So, on something like this, like if it was today, the 18th is a Thursday, you might put that Monday would be the last day of storage. That'll give the letter time to get there. That'll give them time to make arrangements. Just setting it for tomorrow, especially if you don't get hold of the customer and you send them the letter and say it's the 19th, that's an unreasonable expectation for the customer, because they won't even get the letter until after the 19th, and we've already said we're not going to pay for it after that. They had no notice.
So give them a couple of days mail time.
Yeah, give them a couple of days mail time, and then maybe a day to go by the storage lot and get their stuff, or at least make arrangements to set up a tow truck to go get it for them.
But then this is on non-contact?
Especially on non-contact.
What happens if they own or retain it? Are they able to get the vehicle out of there?
If out of Copart?
Yeah.
Yeah, if they decide to own or retain it, then that's typically going to be something that is going to be handled inside. If you guys have moved it, you couldn't get a hold of it, and they end up owner retaining it, we'll just have to deal with that. That doesn't happen that often, so that might be one of those one-off things that we just have to deal with.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Jay. Another thing we talked, I don't know if it was more on Tuesday or last week, we talked about the back end audits, and we talked about wheels have become was one of the things that shows up pretty regular. Have y'all had any of those? What we talked about was just go ahead and use the wheels that show up on there. I know they're out of state, and see if the shop might price match, or maybe VA can do the supplement on if there's a parts price difference or whatever. Have y'all had a chance to has that come up this week on any claims?
I haven't.
No.
Okay. Let's just go with best case scenario on those. So, okay, I want to take a few minutes. Seem like every huddle we have some questions about total loss. So, does anybody have any questions for Jay? Maybe that was as regards to lien holders, or anything like that, or maybe any ABO questions that Jay might or might not be able to answer.
Well, I got an ABO question. So I had a cross file, and I got an email from the ABO rep that they were wanting me to, I guess, upload everything in the cross file. They didn't want to open up the cross file to see the macro and all that. So what was the deal with that? They don't. Her email was they don't open up the other file. They only open up one file.
That I don't know. I've never run across that.
You know, maybe on a cross file, maybe we paste the macro in both claim numbers.
Right, that's what she was wanting me to do, post the macro in both claim numbers. I was like, well, we just paid this under the cross file. This is where I paid it at. But she was like,
well,
no, put it under the
ABO should be working out of the file that was paid under.
No, she wanted to work under the one that, because the one that was closed, I didn't put the macro in because it said on the home page of it the claim was closed, and then we opened up the cross file, all the financials are open, so I paid under that. But she said she wanted me to put everything under the closed file. So
that doesn't make sense because if we paid it out, they should be working there and sending their documentation and sending all of their paperwork out of the file that was paid.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
So
okay.
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. You might.
Well, it's all over with now. I was curious. I was like, wow, why?
Yeah, I don't know why they were asking for that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
I think they CC'd you on that too, Greg.
They did.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
There are a lot of times when I'm documenting a file and it's a cross file, I'll copy and paste whatever my documentation and I'll put it in both files just in case somebody goes into it, they'll know. So it's not like that's what they were looking for. Are you guys still getting a lot of phone calls from customers about ABO not contacting them?
Yes.
Yeah.
ABO's not going to contact them. Yeah.
Right.
ABO's not going to handle rental, and ABO's not going to contact them. ABO's going to send them the total loss packet, and ABO's going to do all the backside paperwork. But don't set an expectation that ABO is going to contact them by telephone or anything.
I guess that's what I meant, Jay. Yeah, we know they don't contact them, but as far as the customers are calling saying, I still haven't, I guess, received my email packet, that they're going to send me, or they, also in relations to gap coverage, there's still some issues there, or that's come up on our calls in the past.
Yeah. So give the customer the ABO number, the 866-851-8500, and tell them to give that to their gap carrier, because that's where the gap is going to get their documents from. So tell the customer to give them the ABO number to their gap carrier to get the documents that they need. That's been working pretty well for me.
Okay.
I don't get a whole lot of calls about that. As far as rental, ABO is not going to handle rental. So if you settle the claim, either you or the claim owner is going to have to handle the rental. But as you know, on an insured, it's 5 days after total loss determination, and on a claimant, it's 2 days. So,
but we could go further. We can extend it for good reason, but you need to get me involved on those. But the insured, we can still go up to the 30 days. We just want to do it in increments.
Right.
They changed our limits, and we can't go over like 4 or 5 days anymore.
Right. Yeah. They cut back on the field adjusters' limits of how many days authority they have for LOU. So yeah, those that need to go, get me involved, and I can do it, or the claim owner. Claim owner may be harder to get a hold of sometimes, but yeah, you can get a hold of me, and I can extend them as well. Yeah, but that's right, Terry. Thanks for calling that out. Anybody else have any ABO or total loss questions? Anybody having any concerns with, like I say, paying any lien holders or getting in contact with any lien holders?
So when you have a lease vehicle, I guess. Go ahead.
I would say when you have a lease vehicle, the entire settlement amount always goes to the leasing company because they are the titled owner. The customer's name is not on the title of a leased vehicle.
Right,
So
I
the
saw
entire
that. That's
settlement amount, yeah. So the entire settlement amount is going to go to the lease company, and then if there is any positive equity, then the leasing company will send that to the customer. But the
okay.
customer does not own a leased vehicle. Their name's not on the title, so we can't pay them, even though they're insured or claiming either one. We got to pay the titled owner, so we pay the leasing company the entire settlement amount, and then if there is, like I said, if there is any positive equity, then they'll get that back from the leasing company will pay the customer back the positive equity if there is any.
Was that your
Hey,
question?
Jay?
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty much it. I was wondering, with how do we handle those? Because it came up when I ran it. It came up Daimler Mercedes as the owner. I was like, wow, what is this?
Okay.
Yeah,
Then the
yeah, they were
customer was
leasing
calling,
it. So.
calling shots on it. And I was like, well, this is the lease vehicle. I'm gonna have to reach out to them. So
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So just let the customer know, hey, I know you've leased the vehicle, but we have to make the entire settlement payment, regardless if there's positive equity or not. We have to make the entire settlement payment to the leasing company, and then if there is anything left over, the leasing company will send you whatever positive equity remains.
Okay.
great.
Good. Thank you. Yeah, Terry, you had a question?
Well, no, I had Lexus Finance, and the guy had like 3,000 positive equity a couple weeks ago, and they told me to pay them and then pay him.
Yeah, I've
And
had
that's
that.
what Lexus told me to do.
If that's what Lexus tells you to do, then just notify that you were instructed
Right.
by the lien holder to do it that way, and go head on. But typically,
Yeah.
that's the way we do it.
Okay, cool. That'll work. All right. We're at 8:02. I know we got other things to do today. Everybody's got a full plate, I'm sure. Terry, we probably won't talk to you before you're on PTO next week.